Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you, and this is part 2 of the history of Sweden is weird. I'm going to go ahead and watch it. Again, big fan of PewDiePie, original video linked in the description below, and let's jump into it. Or let's get into it. I'm not Philip DeFranco. Let's get into it.
Oh, this is a kind of cool thing. You can actually visit this. We built a ship that was so lavish and so luxury. I'm not sure if that was the reason, but it seemed more of a...
As far as I understand, it was a really big ship and luxurious, and then it sank. And then they took it out, and now you can go see it. I've never seen it yet, so I got to go see it in Stockholm. I haven't really been to many museums in Stockholm, just in Linköping where I'm from, but I am looking forward to it. So that's something I got to add on my life goals as someone, as a dude living in Sweden.
A lesson, an allegory, or something. That it sank. It never left the harbor, because it just sank right away. It was too heavy. We're like, hey, we're gonna build the most badass ship. Ah, damn it, it has to float? What? You can visit this if you go to Stockholm. It's actually pretty cool. Actually, I don't know if it's cool. I went when I was like 5, but it was cool then, so. Oh yeah, and we used to have a Frenchman as a king. I remember this in history class, because he kept complaining how cold it was.
Didn't know that.
It's so cold here. Je suis très... What the fuck is cold? Je suis très froid, je suis français. Did he do anything good? Probably not. Disgrace. Yeah. Yeah. How the fuck did he get in there, by the way?
Interesting.
Sorry. How did that happen? Oh, nice. So he was found on his deathbed to have a tattoo that read "Death to Kings."
That's interesting.
All right. I didn't know that. You may have heard about the bloodbath of France or Spans or Smans. We have our own bloodbath, okay? You're not so special. That's nothing really interesting about it. I have to look into it. Oh yeah, so the term Stockholm Syndrome is based on a real kidnapping event where the bank employees were held hostage.
Okay, this one I know. As far as I understand, Stockholm Syndrome was really a bank robbery that happened in Sweden, and that basically the people were sympathetic to the actual robbers.
For 6 days, the hostages became emotionally attached to their captor and even defended them after they were freed. So that's so Swedish, isn't it? He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He can go. It's okay. I like him.
It's funny that he says it's so Swedish. They probably sat there and talked to him about it and said, well, how do you feel about robbing the bank? Why do you want to rob the bank? I'm just sorry. Had to throw a little knock into Swedish culture. No offense, guys. I love you all.
Sweden was established 100 years after the Vikings. Interesting. Then we had the Union of Kalmar, which was like a mix of Denmark and Norway.
And when I hear Kalmar, I think of like, I live in Linköping, so that's actually, there's a place called Kalmar not so close, not so far from where I live. They also have, I believe, a zoo there, which is pretty cool.
Then everything was shit. Then we had Stockholm bloodbath, and then this motherfucker came up and was like, you know what? I'ma steer shit together. Was this our first king? Father of Sweden.
Yeah, because if I understand in the history of Sweden, you had like multiple kingdoms, and I do believe that Gustav, and I could be wrong, please don't get mad, but and I'm sure he's going to explain, but I believe that Gustav was the one that really linked, kind of brought all the kingdoms together to being kind of one country. And that's what Sweden became Sweden. And there's a lot of like old castles, like all scattered around Sweden. So there were, I believe, 3 kingdoms that were united into one, which is why there's the 3 kingdoms you have on your logo. And you see on the sports teams here in Sweden, the 3 crowns. That's where I believe it comes from.
Vasa. Look at this dude.
Yes.
Look at this dude with the tights. Hell yeah.
And fun fact, Vasa. I want to do the Vasaloppet, which is, I believe, named after him. Maybe not, but I could be wrong there as well. Let's just forget I said that one.
Yeah, it's really cool seeing this stuff. Okay, so Gustav Vasa came in, and he took away the power from the church. So he gave all the money to the state and wanted to strengthen the economy of Sweden, as far as I understand. And Sweden grew very, very rich and very, very strong. We mined copper, I think. Yeah, the Swedish Empire had the greatest, most numerous copper mines in Europe. So we grew very rich, but we didn't have many people living there. But then Swedes decided babies. We make so many goddamn babies. We make army of babies. More babies. And once we said we have enough babies, we said more babies. This is the greatest summary of Sweden history. And then Gustav Adolf, the andre.
Do you imagine what Sweden would have been like back then with having that many babies and actually getting like parental leave off? Another thing that I think I know about Sweden, as far as I understand it, is like before you guys got super modernized in like the 70s, it was pretty much a bunch of farmers and not so big until you started to have this population boom.
He's like, all right, this is cool. We got money. More babies. We need more babies.
More babies.
So this leads to a kind of controversial subject, which is the Swedish great power, which kind of blows my mind. I obviously know about it in history, but I didn't realize just how vast it was. So this is the great power era of Sweden. We went to war with everyone. And if you think
interesting thing about the Swedish Empire, from as far as I know, and he's going to talk about it, is like when the power was so big. I mean, Sweden had parts of Russia. It was really, really spread out, and is now a shadow of its former self. But there was a time where you Swedes were vicious. I'm not saying they're not powerful now, but powerful in the sense taking land from other people. And there's a lot of even though Denmark and Sweden joke, for example, there was some bloodshed between the countries. The same with Norway throughout their history. Now everybody just jokes.
Bad for doing that. Everyone went to war with everyone then this time, okay? You bad too then. But yeah, I don't know. We probably didn't have to do that. I don't know. Storbackstaden. Hell yeah. Look at this. This is the map. What the fuck is this? We had like Germany.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy how big it was.
Is that Amsterdam? Finland. We didn't have Norway then? What was Norway then? We just cut Norway in half? How? What? That's funny. I know so little. I'm trying to remember. I remember the story in history class where like all our armies were here and then we were attacked here somewhere, and it was this epic story how they rode or maybe here, I don't know. They rode them over the ice, all the armies with the horses. They galloped. They were like, you know what? Nah. We take shortcut. Bang. So we defeated Russia. We defeated Finland, which wasn't even a thing. Estonia, that's ours. Lithuania, that's ours.
Yeah, Finland likes to talk about how they beat Russia during World War II or whatever. But we beat you guys the first time around in round 1. Just so you know, Finland, we took you guys down. So we like you. You're our friends. Now we got a treaty, but just don't forget that.
Sweden could have been so great. Sweden, great, but was great. Wow. So many like lavish artwork. Well, I don't know about that, but that's Napoleon. From this era of Sweden, all the wars, and this is in 1629. He was 17 when he got the throne, the king of Sweden. Yeah, back in the day. Now we have democracy.
Yeah, and led by kings. It's interesting, actually. Some people believe that, I think that democracies will survive, but a lot of people believe that in this century, especially the other types of world powers out there, believe that democracy will fall. That actually, like, social media and the stuff that we have in place social media and things we have in place is actually going to lead to the downfall. So does that mean that PewDiePie and myself are partly responsible? I do not know.
Back in the day, Sweden ruled by very good kings. Or at least they were smart, good at war.
Yeah.
17, dude. You read about Sun Tzu, you ain't heard about Gustav II Adolf. Yeah, we did go against Poland. Sorry, Poland. Oh, I remember
There's so many Gustavs, like, kings, that's where I get confused throughout history. So some of the stuff I probably said in my previous video where I get history, it's all the Gustavs that I get confused with.
Fool. This guy was the end of it all. Gustav.
I gotta say, that guy, that's a pose right there. That's a pose of a man who doesn't give an F, basically. That's a pose of a man that knows he's king. Just saying, a little bit different from the Monarchy.
Gustav. Look at this dude. He made peace, huh? This face of peace. Joking. But for real though, come on. He looks like the villain from Pocahontas. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Oh, okay. I remember this. There's this argument that it was cheaper for us to go to war than to have peace. And that's part of the reason why we went.
That's funny. We'll just use that one from now on. Can you imagine if a country used that now? Actually, it's cheaper if we fight each other. Crazy. Now that is propaganda. Just saying, Sweden.
And out and fucked about. It was cheaper to finish a war than to start one. Since we had so many officers and I guess soldiers that want to get paid, it was better to, finish what we started, kind of. So it just kept going. And Norway's, of course, were the ones to seal the deal on us again when they killed our king, Karl and Tolfte. Oh, the legendary photo, the picture. He fell in Norway. Those fucking Norways, man.
Norway's involved so much in all the bad stuff.
We can never defeat.
Norway, you guys are in bad, and like everything bad happened in Sweden, somehow Norway's involved. Right? Throughout history, it's happening. Come on, Norway. I thought we were friends.
Was that Norwegians? What did we do? We didn't have enough artillery. Ah, god damn it. If we only
Funny story. Actually, Sweden and Norway are working on artillery, I do believe, and it's pretty scary. It could be Finland could be involved as well, but the new artillery that they have is insane. Let's just say they could hold their own against any other country right now, from what I know from my research.
Artillery. Oh, and the ice wasn't strong enough. We couldn't do the ice move again. Damn it. Oh, if only the ice was stronger. Damn you, Norway, and your weak ice. We had more people, too. God damn it. This is bullshit. I don't believe this. This is false slander. There's no way we lost against Norway. We even had some colonies, which kind of blew my mind. I had no idea about this. We had an ant.
Yeah, I didn't know that Sweden had colonies. Or a colony. That's interesting.
Something
new.
Never heard this.
Never either.
So in the 17th century, the Swedish Empire reached its greatest territorial event. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We even traded colonies to bypass French, English, Dutch merchants. That was our fortress. Well, no wonder we lost. What the fuck is this? It's so tiny, dude.
That is the most lagom. That is the most lagom you can get. That is the typical Swede right there. That is how a fort would look in Sweden. It's not too much, not too little, just what we need. Just to put the flag in so everybody can see. Then we sit outside of it.
It's a tiny fortress. That's an ant fortress. We even had places in Africa, Cape Coast.
I didn't know that the colonization that Sweden did had gone so broad. Obviously, they don't do it anymore, but it's interesting, especially being an American, because we're so hyper focused on it, and we're one of the last countries to end colonization. Obviously, there are other countries as well, but this was just interesting. So it's still relatively in our history and discussed it quite often. So yeah, interesting. Obviously, I think for us it's different because we had a lot of slave labor on farming and stuff. So I'm not saying that colonizing a country is good, but I think that maybe that's why it's more in our history, up front.
In Ghana? Why? Oh no! Oh, Sweden!
Yeah, that's not good.
No, I thought we were clean of that. Damn it. Well, no wonder I didn't know about it. No one's going to tell us about that.
I will say one thing about Sweden, and don't get mad. Swedes are proud of their country and their image. And yeah, some of the negative stuff about Sweden and history over time are things that happen during certain wars or things that were allowed to happen during certain wars don't really get brought up. You don't really hear about it much, and a lot of the negative things that happened in history in Sweden I didn't know. For instance, one really cool thing I learned is how close Sweden actually got to nuclear weapons. I can link that video somewhere at some point. One thing I learned recently is how far Sweden actually got to nuclear weapons and how big the nuclear weapons program was after World War II, which is interesting.
Why? Why did we go there? Some guy in Sweden's like, you know what? There. We're going there.
That is completely
I don't understand
colonialism
or whatever. It's just kind of interesting that was how it was back in the day for a lot of countries. Okay, Sweden. But now, when you have your next fika, think of I don't fucking know. What is this video at this point? Trying to end it on a nice way. I can't get
back. I'll just end it there and say thank you, PewDiePie. I don't know if I really learned. I learned some things. About the history, But I'm sure I'm going to get shredded in the comments about historical things I got right or wrong. But hey, I didn't have history of Sweden growing up. I didn't go to school and learn the history of Sweden, you know? I learned about the history of America, right? And learning the history of America means I didn't learn the history about anything else, pretty much. But anyways, guys, just kidding. I had some good classes. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be reacting to your guys' favorite Swedish commercials that you guys recommended. That's coming up. You do not want to miss that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hej då!